Hey guys, Jonathan here. Well, if you don't know, I'm rounding the bases for home on collecting every single LEGO superhero set ever sealed. So that's going to include things like actual sealed sets, promotional items, and the topic of today's video, Polybags. So now that I've got pretty much all the Polybags, I really looked through them all and thought, man, what are the best ones that we've gotten over the years? And today's video is going to be a top 10 list counting down the best Polybags ever from the superheroes theme. Now, this is going to include Marvel and DC in the list, so I'm not breaking it down between the brands, but I will say every single Polybag on this list does have minifigures in it, so a lot of the Guardians ship, stuff like that, although those are cool, they didn't make the list. So I may make another separate video about Polybags that don't include minifigs if that's not too confusing. Let me know in the comments. Anyways, on to today's video. Let's start counting down the top 10 best LEGO Superheroes Polybags of all time. Coming in at number 10, we have the Electro Polybag. This is technically our only set from The Amazing Spider-Man 2, as you can see here. We did get the Comic-Con exclusive Andrew Garfield, but this actually came out in stores. Interestingly enough, this was an exclusive over at Toys R Us. You actually got this with a purchase of $30 or more at Toys R Us when it came out. I'm not exactly sure of the month, but I'm sure what you guys are wondering is, what is this worth now? Well, admittedly, it's not worth a crazy amount. It's worth about $25 sealed. Now, as we go through the list, I will be telling you what everything's worth, but assume that those prices are for sealed versions, so if you have one open, it's probably worth a little bit less than sealed, but still cool to have nonetheless. At number 9, we have a 2013 LEGO gift with purchase, and this is Jor-El. This, of course, is Superman's dad from the movie Man of Steel, and I always thought that this was a cool figure. I think that it's really, really great with the detailing there. You got the Superman S with a slightly darker red. You actually get a slightly darker red cape with this figure as well. Like I said, this was a gift with purchase from LEGO or LEGO Shop at Home, and on today's market, he's worth about $25. At number 8, we also have another gift with purchase. You'll see a lot of these are gift with purchases, but this is the 2014 gift with purchase, Martian Manhunter. I always thought that this one was super cool with his comic book style design, and not too much to say about him. I mean, you get the blue cape. It was nice to get leg and hip printing on this one, and on today's market, he goes for about 15 bucks, so nothing too crazy. Honestly, I'm surprised he's not worth more, because they've only ever done 2 Martian Manhunter minifigs, and this is one of them. Now, for a long time, this was in my top 5, but we did get a lot of great Polybags over the years that has bumped it down a bit. So at number 7, we've got the Hulk Polybag. Now, this was a gift with purchase actually twice. Both times were in 2012, and the first time was in the middle of May of 2012, and the second time they brought it back in August randomly. I guess that maybe they had leftovers, or there was so much demand that they brought it back, but that's exceptionally rare for that to happen, and in fact, it's the only figure on this list that it ever happened for. The figure itself is quite cool. For a long time, it was our only minifigure scale Hulk. He didn't have side leg printing, and dual molded legs weren't even invented yet, so for the time, I thought that this was pretty cool, and I dig this figure all these years later. Hard to believe it's over a decade old now. At number 6, we have what a lot of people are going to be surprised it's not higher, but there's a lot of great figures on this list, the Winter Soldier Polybag. Now, this one was super exciting. It actually came out in 2015, so a little bit later than the Winter Soldier movie, but it's a really nice hybrid of being inspired by the movie, but also the reverse side of the head had his eyes with blacked out mascara sort of look on them. So it was a perfect blend of the comics and the movies, and that doesn't happen very often for figures. So it was actually our only Winter Soldier ever to be based off of the Winter Soldier movie, even to this day, so that is quite cool. And on today's market, he goes for about 35 to 40 bucks, so we're starting to get to the expensive ones now. Now, this next one I have a soft spot for because, of course, on the channel, I make a lot of custom minifigures, and I have used this figure so many times. This is the Rocket Raccoon Polybag. Interestingly enough, you can't really see, but he had really great dark red printed arms. You also got a sticker sheet here, and these stickers could be applied to the Milano set from 2014, and you got Baby Groot in the little flower pot there, so overall, you got a lot of really, really cool stuff going on with this figure, and this one kind of had an interesting story. It was a gift with purchase at Toys R Us, of all places. Rest in peace. And you could get this for free with a purchase of over $30 in LEGO, or you could just buy it for $4.99. I know for me, I would have rather just bought it, but I actually never saw this in stores at Toys R Us back in the day. If you were to try and buy one now, they start around 20 bucks and work their way up, so they're not easy to find, and a lot of people love them for customs, so it is pretty cool. Interestingly though, even though he does have those red printed arms, in the movie, he actually didn't have sleeves on, so it's not a very accurate figure, but it is useful for making customs, and that's why he's on the list for me. At number 4 on this list, we've actually got something a lot more modern, and that is the Spider-Man Far From Home / No Way Home Polybag. Now this, of course, was available at places like Target, although I never saw it at my Target, and it was a little bit more easy to access than a lot of things on this list, but that's the thing I love about it. It doesn't have to be some rare exclusive or something that was only available for a week as a gift with purchase. You got a great black and red Spider-Man suit, a Mysterio drone, and that cool Tower Bridge piece for $5. I mean, come on, it doesn't get much better than that, so this comes in at number 4. Alright, we're getting into our top 3, and if you haven't already, be sure to hit like and subscribe down below to join the Mini Superheroes Today family. At number 3, we have something absolutely legendary that LEGO did, and that was to give us a very expensive exclusive figure in a $5 polybag, and that comes in the Batman 1992 polybag. Now, we hadn't gotten official Batman sets for years, and then all of a sudden in 2023, we started to get some Michael Keaton Batman era stuff, and this figure was exclusive to the Batcave, like $400 shadow box, but the exact same figure comes in this awesome $5 polybag with a gargoyle, and because of how awesome that is, he comes in at number 3 on the list today. I think a lot of you guys are going to be surprised that this next one is not my number 1, but hey, it's my list. It's going to be what it's going to be. This is the Silver Centurion. Now, a lot of people consider this one of the best LEGO Marvel figures ever, and I certainly would agree, but you'll see at number 1 why I like that one just a little bit more. Anyways, the Silver Centurion, a lot like the Hank Pym figure we just looked at, was a pre-order exclusive at GameStop for the LEGO Avengers video game that came out in early 2017. As you can see on this figure, he had dual molded arms and arm printing, side leg printing, an awesome chest piece there with a stud on it. It's a really great figure all around, and he is very, very expensive on today's market. If you want to try to get a sealed copy of him, be ready to shell out $90 to $100 or more, because a lot of people love the detail on this figure, me included, and he's not getting any easier to find out there, folks. And finally, the number 1 LEGO Superheroes polybag of all time, in my opinion, is the Iron Patriot. Now, interestingly, that's not what this set is cataloged as by LEGO. It's actually called the Gun Mounting System. Now, here's the reason why this is my favorite. I love the Iron Patriot armor. It's actually my favorite MCU iron armor ever, more than any other Iron Man or War Machine, and I just think that this was really cool. I also have a lot of nostalgia for this because I remember going to Walmart as soon as school let out the day that this came out and picking this up and getting the last one at my Walmart store. So I remember just being really excited, playing the game. I think it's one of the only video games I've ever 100%ed, at least when I was younger. Anyways, I love this figure. I have so much nostalgia for it, and on today's market, these go for about $90 to $100 and up sealed, so he's definitely rare. Means a lot of people agree that it's a cool figure, but I think the thing about top 10 lists are, yes, objectively, this is one of the better LEGO Marvel Iron Man style figures we've ever gotten, but it doesn't really matter what that guy thinks, what I think, what your brother thinks. It's what you think. What do you love the most in your collection? And this is one of my favorites. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, be sure to hit like and subscribe, and let me know what your favorite LEGO Superheroes polybag ever is. I did my top 10. I'd love to hear your top 10 in the comments, so let me know. And if you want to see more top 10 lists, maybe drop some comments of things you'd like to see in the future. Anyways, for now, I'm Jonathan, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.